Back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. We're all hanging together. And in this stream, I want to connect the dots. Yesterday, I had two videos where I showed you guys what was going on behind the scenes, and today we're seeing the effects of it. So I'm going to show you the real reason why Bitcoin dumped, why Ethereum dumped, why the entire market dumped, and I'm going to connect the dots because there are some people that still refuse to believe that this is happening. It is. There is one group of individuals that is causing this. And what's the reason behind it? Well, that's today's stream. I'm going to connect the dots for you guys. So hopefully you guys did take some profits yesterday. I warned you guys that this could be coming this week on a futures expiration week. So it would not be a bad time to take some off the top in case a dip came. And I know a lot of you guys did. So good for you. Good for you. So let's get started. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And make sure you tune into my live stream every day, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And hit that notification bell. And follow me on Twitter and Facebook. All right, those of you guys already in live chat, welcome. Let's do this. So, looking at Bitcoin, it is down to 52,400. And this morning, man, we had a huge flash crash all the way down to 46,000. Some of you guys took advantage of that. Great, great. But here's the thing. It's still early. It's still early. Today is only Monday, and Bitcoin futures expiration is until Friday. And we have seen periods of time when Bitcoin starts coming down and kind of lagging for a little bit, right? So I'm going to explain all that in a little bit. I'm going to explain that in a little bit. Long time BP, appreciate that. So in case you guys didn't watch my videos from yesterday, so I've been following, or any of my F2 pool videos. F2 pool is a large mining pool, the largest mining pool in the world. And you know what? I've been tracking their outflows for quite some time. Ever since I discovered this, I started looking into it. And yesterday I noticed when Bitcoin was at $57,000, $58,000, I'm like, this is not a good sign that 3,600 Bitcoins outflowed, meaning left F2 pool. And you know what? That can't be a good thing because when it leaves, that's usually a bad thing. And you could see over here, the last time this happened, and it wasn't even that much because Bitcoin was lower at that point, 2,700 left. And after that, Bitcoin stalled out and went down for quite some time before it started recovering back up, right? So this time was the same thing, except we had a warning ahead of time because when this happened, and an outflow happened, Bitcoin's price was still going up. In fact, after I released my morning video, Bitcoin actually went up a little bit. So at night, I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. You know what? I'm going to take some off the top just in case because a lot of us have made a lot of money on altcoins and even Bitcoin. I'm like, take a little bit off the top just in case, so that if we do have a downturn this coming week, you could take advantage of rebuy, right? So that's exactly what happened. And look at this. Besides this, they're not done. They sold another 1,100 Bitcoins not too long ago. So they may be extending this for quite some time, for maybe a few days up until F2 up until Bitcoin futures expiration, right? The other thing I mentioned about this is this happens to come on a Sunday right before Bitcoin future expiration. We know that sometimes with expirations, the week becomes volatile, right? So today, there's a lot of articles about Bitcoin, crashes, right? What's the thing? Is the bull market over? And what's this and this? And what's the chart saying? No, it's none of that. The bull market is not over, okay? The bull market is nowhere close to being over. Why did it crash? Well, it's because of either F2 pool or whales on F2 pool that is trying to manipulate the market during a futures expiration. It's as simple as that. That's it. Now, who is it? We know that it's coming from F2 pool. I just don't know if it's F2 pool themselves or a whale on top of F2 pool. And I have more evidence to show you that this relates. It definitely relates to Bitcoin futures. So that is the real reason. But should you panic, full blown panic? No. let's keep things into perspective. Right now, Bitcoin is still at $52,000. Okay, so just a few weeks ago we were in the 40s. Just a few weeks before that we were in 30s. So time to panic? No, definitely not. Definitely not. You know, in fact, something like this is very, very natural. Some of you guys have entered the game recently. You haven't experienced a dip, but if you just scroll back just a little bit, we saw something very, very similar not too long ago. So this was in January when Bitcoin first hit $42,000 over here. I got to move my camera again. Yeah, so it doesn't bother you guys. So, you know, when Bitcoin first hit $42,000, it came all the way down to about $29,000 before it started going up and sideways. And during this time, F2 Pool, you know, the shenanigans was going on, and this is when I kind of discovered them. That's why Bitcoin had an extended breather. And, you know, beforehand, maybe it was the case too. You know, here's the thing about data. There's a lot of it, but I don't think people are really paying attention to it. I think for too long, us in the crypto community, we kind of just accepted the fact that there are whales, and there are whales that's doing things behind the scenes, right? And I do believe F2 Pool might have been doing this for a very, very, very long time. No one really paid attention, but the data was there. But now we can clearly see it. I mean, when you have a 3,800 Bitcoin outflow or 3,600 Bitcoin outflow, you know there's going to be something that happens, okay? There's going to be a consequence, and that's what we're seeing right now, right? And what did this cause? Well, this caused a lot of damage. Remember yesterday, I've always said this too, never invest more than what you can afford to lose. And many people during a bull market tend to overinvest, really overinvest. That's why DeFi is so high. A lot of people put down collateral, borrow against that, and buy more crypto. And a lot of people utilize leverage because leverage is so plentiful everywhere. Every single exchange out there offers some kind of leverage trading, right? So people go long, they go very long, and then they get wrecked. And look at today. Look at how wrecked longs were today. In fact, 1.3 billion liquidations with longs. That's a lot. That's a lot. This is for Bitcoin, right? Remember, just a few days ago, we kind of had that little flash crash, right? That already liquidated 400 million longs. Today, 1.3 billion longs liquidated. So this always happens, but it happens both sides too, just like over here, right? 720 million shorts were liquidated too. So here's the thing, unless you're a pro and you really know what you're doing, don't leverage trade because you can't hold it. If you get leverage it, you're done. You can't get it back, right? If you buy a crypto, it goes down, you hold it, it comes back up, then you're still holding it. You don't lose anything. But this is what happened. This is Bitcoin, but look at Ethereum. It's even uglier. Ethereum is huge. You know how recently there's so much enthusiasm over Ethereum making a new high. Guess what? 600 million was liquidated from Ethereum. That's a staggering amount, especially even 2 days ago, right? Ethereum was about 382 million liquidated. Today, 600 million. So just between Bitcoin and Ethereum, that's almost $2 billion of long liquidations. This is why you don't want to play with leverage unless you, like I said, you're a pro, you really know what you're doing, right? Then you could risk it a little bit or utilize very, very small amount to do so. But otherwise, days like today, you will get crushed. Absolutely crushed. All right. So as you can see, F2 Pool did a lot of damage, right? But this is all leading up to Friday. Friday of every month is when CME Group, they have their Bitcoin expiration. So there's monthly futures, and you know what? That's usually when the week beforehand you see some activities. There has been really good weeks where Bitcoin really pumps up during expiration week, and then there are some weeks where it's really bad. Okay. So I've been connecting the dots because a lot of people still don't understand, like, okay, why would F2 Pool sell? They're a pool. Why would they sell? Like, it's in their best event, you know, it's advantageous for them to just buy and hold, right? Yeah, that's true for the most part. But when you have enough Bitcoins where you can actually move the market, well, then you can actually do some manipulations, right? For example, if you know selling 3,600 Bitcoin, and then you multiply that by 10 with leverage. Think about it, because there's a lot of leverage out there. You could even go 20, 50, 100x. You put that in the spot exchanges, you give it a 10 or 20 or 50 leverage, you're talking about billions that you can utilize to drive down the market. And guess what? Why would you want to do that? Well, you drive down the market and you could gain two ways. First, you could use Bitcoin futures and short the hell out of the market, right? And then you'll gain back when the futures expire, because you're predicting that Bitcoins could go down. But it's not a prediction anymore when you can actually cause it to happen, right? So that is probably going on. And why do I say that? Well, look at this. So utilizing this new charts I found, here's open interest of CME Bitcoin futures longs. Okay, now according to the block crypto, there's basically 4 types of people that's playing Bitcoin futures right now. You have hedge funds, asset managers, other, and non-reported. I don't know what non-reported is. General people, other, I have no idea, and the hedge funds and asset managers, right? But I really wonder if hedge funds really mean hedge funds. But you could see that it's pretty even, right? Between all categories, the longs are pretty even. But you know what's not even is shorts. There's only one category where the short is insanely high. Insanely high. It's marked as hedge funds, but I truly wonder if it's a hedge fund or it's just one large corporation that is doing so. So look at how high the futures is for short. And this is just CME. This is not across all the other exchanges either, right? So there you go. This is why this can be done and is probably being done, because you could take a huge, and this is at 2 point something billion, 2.15 billion just on one futures platform, right? So you could take out a $2 billion Bitcoin short, you drop the market, then you gain whatever $2 billion, $5 billion from this, and guess what? Then you buy back the Bitcoins at a lower price. Then you profit both ways, right? This is why I keep bringing F2 Pool to light. Some people just don't get this or refuse to believe it, or it's F2 Pool's employees trying to chime in. This is what's happening, right? So this is why we want to stop it. It's not just a pool selling their Bitcoins. They're manipulating the market. And we have seen this 3 times now. 3 times now. So what does the saying go? You fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. You fool me more than 2 times, I don't know, then you're just a damn fool, right? So you have to pay attention to this. You can't just ignore it and say this is nonsense. No, this all adds up. This is why I'm connecting the dots for you guys, right? So if we ever see this again, we'll know what to do. Now, what should you do? What should you do with this? Well, obviously take advantage when you can, right? So had you guys, heard my videos from yesterday and you took some off the top, well, then you did it right. You have money on the side now to be able to dollar cost average and buy the dips. And that's the way to do it, right? The strategy doesn't change just because of F2 Pool. Now we discover what they're doing. The strategy is still the same. You buy low and you sell high, right? Or you buy low and you hold on forever. One of the two. And it's one of those days where, yeah, it's actually a really good buy opportunity. Obviously, we're still at 53,000, so we're not like, this is not panic mode, right? But I will say, based on experience, whenever we have a massive dip like this, no, I take that back, not massive dip. Whenever we have a dip like this, it tends to cool off a little bit, and then it comes back again, okay? So right now, if you're thinking about dollar cost averaging, I think go for it. Buy a little amount. But there could be a chance that this continues down. It could continue down, back down to 50,000 or even below that. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys a heads up. But if it doesn't and it continues back up, great. But I remember, and a lot of you guys remember, living through some of these dips before. It always seems like, yeah, it falls down, it comes back, and it's like, oh, it's over. No, and then there's more misery ahead of it. So just be careful. There could be more coming down the road, especially with futures expiration on Friday. Today's only Monday. There's 4 more days to go, so who knows what may happen within the 4 days. And then there's one more thing I want to clarify, because yesterday I brought this up. Yesterday, I detected that there's a massive inflow into Gemini, and thanks to users, they chimed in because I'm like, how does this make sense? 28,000 Bitcoins, 28,000 Bitcoins flew into Gemini, right? Was it being sold? Is it going to custody service? I don't know. And people chimed in, and this makes a whole lot of sense that both Bitcoin ETFs that was approved in Canada, the first one, the Purpose, their BTCC, and then there's another one that is coming, Evolve's Bitcoin ETF. Both of them chose Gemini as the custodian. So Gemini got some pretty good clients. So $1.6 billion worth of Bitcoin flew into Gemini yesterday. So they may be preparing for what's to come. They already pre-purchased $1.6 billion basically. So if you look at this, there's already 421 million. This was updated yesterday, so I don't know if this is updated today, but there's about 421 million already. So you take that 1.6 billion, maybe they're trying to prepare ahead of time, right? And that's why you have 1.6 billion flowing to Gemini. I don't think this is for the purpose of being liquidated. They wouldn't do it on Gemini. It wouldn't make any sense, right? So to clarify, thank you for those of you guys that chimed in. That is not the case. It's definitely this case right here. And then we had another 1,100 that was sold not too long ago, or outflowed, I should say. And there might be more. Let's zoom in, refresh, zoom in a little bit. Yeah, hourly. Yeah, so you could see that besides this one, and there's this one, and we'll see if there's any more. All right, that's what I wanted to cover today. No Bitcoin news. There's nothing relevant, right? What you want to know is why Bitcoin crashed, crypto crashed. But here's the other good news, right? First of all, the good news is Bitcoin will come back up. It will, for sure. This bull market's nowhere done, right? We still have Michael Saylor. He's supposed to be purchasing his $1 billion worth of Bitcoin this week, right? We'll see if that has an effect. Here's the thing, though. Generally, with big purchases like from Michael Saylor and others, they do it in the OTC market, and they try to do it so that it doesn't disrupt, the price. So we know Michael Saylor, he utilizes Coinbase to buy, and Coinbase spreads out the buys like thousands and thousands of buys to make sure that it doesn't fluctuate. So we'll see if it has effect, because $1 billion worth of purchases of Bitcoin is a lot. There's no way, to downplay that. That's a lot. So it's probably going to have effect. So that is coming this week. So that's good. And that could have a big effect. Basically, if there's someone, right? I just got done showing this. And Michael Saylor is the perfect guy to do it. On a Bitcoin's future expirations week, when there's a large short, a $2 billion worth of short, right? That's predicting that Bitcoin is going to fall. Guess what? If Michael Saylor, let's say he's going to buy that 1 billion Bitcoin, he wants to destroy this guy or this party, or even Elon wanted to, they could go to Coinbase and say, hey, buy the $1 billion on the spot market. And I don't care if it drives Bitcoin up $10,000. I don't care if I get less Bitcoin. Just do it. If he was to do something like that, it would pump up Bitcoin literally $10,000 with that kind of buy order. And it would absolutely destroy whoever is trying to short Bitcoin. Just like all the liquidations I showed you guys, how this happened, right? If Michael or someone did that and say, just buy on an open market, cause Bitcoin to go up, skyrocket, it would destroy whoever's doing this. Maybe Michael has the balls to do that. Maybe Elon does. We'll see. Okay, besides that, overall market obviously fell down a little bit below $1.6 billion. But generally speaking, the alts aren't doing too bad. Bitcoin's down about 8%, but you could see that, Ethereum, Binance Coin is a little bit more, but look at like Polkadot and look at Cardano. They're pretty much the same, right? XRP is up because there's supposed to be some ruling today. Not that it's going to be favorable, so I don't know why people are holding on to that. But if you look at across the board, double digits, but overall, not too bad. Not like the old days where if Bitcoin fell down like this, you would have like 30 or 40% dumps on altcoins. No, it kind of shows you the market has changed. There's a lot of strong hands, So pretty good. All right, I turn to Q&A. 5,000 people watching. Welcome. I never had a stream with this many people. Welcome. So smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. I got a lot of super chats. Unfortunately, I missed a lot of them. I can't scroll all the way back. So I appreciate those of you guys that gave me some super chats. And here's the big one. Last one. What is the last one? Jeff Gamber asks, can you look at B Pro from a spectator's viewpoint? What's B Pro? I have no idea what B Pro is. B Pro Network? Oh, come on now. It's code base for DeFi gaming prediction markets more. Okay. They're just too early, man. There's too early. So, too little market cap, too little volume. So, maybe later. But I appreciate the super chat. Oh, there's one other big news, and this kind of relates to what I've been talking about recently, and that's exchanges. So one big one is Crypto.com. So look at them. They're up a staggering 56%, and that's for good reason. So yesterday, people asked me about CRO. I mentioned about a lot of the exchange tokens having very, very positive gains recently, like Voyager and KuCoin. But Crypto.com also, they have been going up, and they just announced this. So maybe people knew ahead of time, or this was a surprise. But 70 billion CRO is going to be burned. In fact, I think it was burned already, because 70 billion or 59.6 billion will be burned today. And then another 10.4 billion is locked in a smart contract, will be burned monthly as it gets unlocked. It will increase the circulating supply of CRO from 24% to 80%. So they're trying to make it decentralized, as much as decentralized as it can be, basically, right? So that is huge. That is huge. I missed that. I had no idea that was coming. I don't know if it's a surprise. Maybe some of you guys knew it, but that's the reason why it is shot up to the moon today, right? But overall, another reason why it's been strong is because it's an exchange coin, and people are looking at Coinbase's evaluation and applying the same thing to other exchange tokens. So yeah, I just want to bring that up too. Some people are chiming in, they don't like Crypto.com. I haven't used the financial app or their crypto credit card, so I can't speak to them, but they've been around for a while. They were one of the first ones, Monaco, that came out with crypto debit cards. Some of you guys may remember Centra, a competitor, and that turned out to be a total scam, and they got arrested. Walt Hodge, new subscriber, thank you. He says he saw a video that MicroStrategy is using a bot to purchase 2,000 per second up to the 1.3 billion, supposedly in 10 days. Should this drive Bitcoin price up? Yes, but he's still spreading it out. That's the thing. He's spreading it out for the purpose of to make sure that the price doesn't move, right? But like I said, if he really wants to do something, if he really wants to destroy the short sellers, right, what he would do is just buy it at once. Put one order in for $1 billion and let it fill. That would cause the price to go up like by $10,000 almost immediately. Jacob Lee says, bro, I lost a crap load of money on Litecoin. I told you to get out of Litecoin. I don't like Litecoin at all. I don't like Litecoin. If you were to go buy a store value, buy the best, and that's Bitcoin. There's a reason why all the major corporations, everyone is talking about Bitcoin, not Litecoin, right? So buy Bitcoin. And that's partly the reason why Litecoin has been so stagnant versus all the other players that have been jumping leaps and bounds. Man on a mission, appreciate that. Glad you took advantage. Sarah and I asked, would you buy BTC right now or wait later in the week? I would say spread out your buys. Spread out your buys. If you're thinking about buying right now or utilizing that cash you freed up to buy, I would say spread it out probably like 3 or 4 ways. Right now would not be a bad time to pick up a little bit, right? The reason why I say that is because you saw that we had this huge down wick, Usually when that happens, it's usually like the last attempt to liquidate as much longs as there is. And then you could see afterwards it came, back up in a big way, right? So it could be a turning point from here, but I think the week is still early, so we could see more downfall. But again, who knows what may happen, in an hour or tomorrow. Maybe Michael Saylor or Elon decides to buy more Bitcoin, like what I suggested, and it could turn things around, right? So I would say if you're thinking about buying back in, spread it out like 4 ways. Buy some now. If we go down to 52,000, 50,000, you could buy some more. If it goes down even more, then you know what? You could keep dollar cost averaging. Paj, does expiring Friday mean the short is paid out on Friday? Yes. So, or shortly afterwards, yes. That means you can't buy anymore. You would have to buy for you have to start buying for the next month. So basically this month is closed out. So it's F2 Pool's interest to keep it down until Friday. I'm assuming so. Why else would they do that, right? Do you know of Elliot Trade's channel? Elliot just launched his project Super Farm today on Uniswap. It's going to gaming NFT. Yeah, I know he was Elliot's he was FUD TV before. I lost track of him. He renamed the channel. He's doing very good. I know he's always been a programmer. He used to be a Tron programmer or a huge Tron guy. I don't know if that's changed or not, and I don't know if Superfam is built on Tron or not, but okay, good for him. But I don't know anything about that. Pedro, appreciate it. Why is 3,600 BTC a problem on Binance? It's easy to see 1,000. Well, you realize there's leverage, right? There's 10x leverage, 100x leverage. You do 100x leverage on 3,600, you do the math, right? There's with leverage, things change. Derivatives for good and bad has really kind of changed things. Because of leverage, you give whales that aren't really a whale, but you make them into a whale with a 100x leverage, right? So that's the thing. And same thing with futures. Before futures came out, there was really no shorting of Bitcoin. You couldn't really short it. But now you can. So now you can try to play both ways, right? So derivatives is good and it's bad. Obviously, there's good stuff to it too. You can make a tremendous amount of money utilizing derivatives. But you could also get wrecked really quick too. So the exchanges love it. Regardless if you get wrecked, regardless if you make money, they're going to collect their fees. So that's why they keep offering leverage. They keep offering more and more of it because they entice people to get into it. And you know what? Either way, the house wins, right? That's how it is with exchanges. Ingredients asks, hey, can you please recommend, let's say you had 30K, how would you go Bitcoin 50%, 50% in 6 alts, what percent, and how many alts? I can't advise that. I'll tell you what I'm doing. What I'm doing right now is being more diversified. I think the max in terms of diversification is 50% in Bitcoin, 50% in altcoins. And the altcoin breakup could be as many as you want. There's no limit to say you can only have 1 altcoin or 5 altcoins. You can have 100 altcoins, right? As long as you pick the good ones. And the ones that, the ones I've been talking about basically. But yeah, there's no set thing. So for me, I used to be more like 99-1, okay? Because I was a Bitcoin Maximus for a long time until I really opened my eyes and realized things are different now. Then I started going down to like 90-10. I'm now more like 65-35. I haven't gone down to 50-50 yet. But that 35 has really helped me and carry my portfolio in a big way, right? And you could see like days like today, how things have changed. If we were right now, if we were back in 2019, a day like today where Bitcoin falls 8%, Ethereum will be down like 24%. And Binance Coin, Polkadot, Cardano will be down 25 to 30%. The fact that they're holding relatively similar shows you how strong the market is overall. BTC dominance didn't fly back up to 70%. It's still holding at 61.7%. So the market is definitely very, very different now versus before. And honestly, right now, I say diversify is because I have no fears that Bitcoin is going to go much higher. Bitcoin is at 52,000. It's heading to 500,000 plus. That's a 10x multiplier from here. Whether it comes at the end of this year or next year or 5 years from now, I'm 100% certain. For me, my belief is Bitcoin is going to be at least 10x higher from where it is now. At least, if not more, it could head to 1 million, 5 million, 10 million afterwards, right? So my thing is, Bitcoin becomes the dominant store of value. It's going to go 10x. There's no way that only Bitcoin goes up 10x and nothing else goes up 10x. Everything else will be carried with it. The market will be carried with it. And then finally, we're going to see a lot of these altcoins stand on their own, produce something that people actually use, and they're going to thrive, right? That's why I think right now is the time to diversify. Jihuan Wu is not F2 Pool. He was Bitmain, and he got kicked out of Bitmain for his support of Bitcoin Cash. So, the irony there. What do you think about Bake? I like Bake. I think Bake is a great small cap play. You know, we've seen Pancake Swap go up hundreds of percent. Bake, which is Bakery Swap, they have also done very well. So I like it. I like Binance Smart Chain stuff right now. If you haven't paid attention, I've been talking a lot about them, right? I think Ethereum's network is really recongested. I heard gas fees was above $100 today because probably people are panic selling. In a way, congestion actually helps people to not panic sell today, so that's good. But, you know, that congestion is not going to help. It's not going to solve itself, right? So a lot of people are moving away to DeFi products that's outside of Ethereum, like Binance Smart Chain. So a lot of those projects I've been talking about, I think they're going to do very well. They would do very well. Jonathan, ETH 2 will fix that, but that's not going to be done for like a year. We're only at phase 0 of launching the beacon change, but then they have to implement sharding, and then they have to implement a lot more accounts and all this stuff. The token economy isn't solved yet, and then they have to merge the two chains together because ETH right now has basically two chains, and you have to merge it together, and there's a lot of things going on. So it's nowhere close to being done, right? And the good and bad is, you know, ETH is leading the way. Ethereum is leading the way because besides DeFi, now NFTs are getting very hot. NFTs, you know, people kind of throw it into DeFi. It's not. It's tokenizing, you know, virtual items. And that's getting very, very, very hot right now. And that's on top of ETH too, for the most part. So, but now you're starting to see a lot of them go outside onto other projects, and you know they're doing really well right now. So this is like what, death by success right now with Ethereum. So in 2017 it was just nothing but ICOs. Now there's actually use cases, but the network just can't handle it, right? So that's why Polkadot, Cardano, Binance Smart Chain, Cosmos, Tezos, all these guys, they're gaining a lot of momentum because people are looking elsewhere, right? And a lot of them are already up and running. So, yeah. I have not heard anyone ask me about Holochain. I honestly didn't look at them recently. Holochain is more like a DAG. They were set up a little bit differently. They had like decentralized storage set up. but I honestly, I haven't kept up with them, so I don't know what's going on with them. Do you honestly believe, J Money asks, do you honestly believe all these ETH miners are going to simply turn off their rigs and move to ETH 2.0 for POS? Probably not, but that's why Vitalik programmed in, what is that bomb? I forgot the term that he programmed in, but basically it's go force them no matter what. The difficulty bomb. So the difficulty bomb was supposed to go off last year already, but he kept delaying it because the difficulty bomb will make difficulty skyrocket to the point where it's unprofitable to mine. So, and then it forces people to go to 2.0. So he actually thought about that early on. And it's funny, that's called a difficulty bomb. But he created some EIPs or EIPs to delay that. But I know he's going to enable it again. Unless the miners just don't agree to that upgrade. And then I don't know what's going to happen, right? I kind of assume that a lot of them will move to Ethereum Classic afterwards with their hardware. Because Ethereum Classic is still, it's still proof of work. But we'll see. We'll see what happens when that comes. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Awesome asked, do you think the dump is finished? No, I think there could be more. I think there could be more. It's just a little bit too early right now because it's just only Monday and Friday is still Friday, still 4 days away. So I think we're going to see some volatility from here on out until that expiration. But we do know who's causing it. We do know why it's being done, right? Now we just got to take advantage of it. We got to take advantage, right? Now that we have all the information at our grasp, we're not going to ignore it anymore. Putting the pieces together, it's pretty obvious what's happening right now, right? So we got to take advantage, be smart about it, and that's how we're going to thrive, right? All right, guys, Steven, yes, I am. That's it. Thanks for tuning in. A large crowd today, record crowd. Appreciate your support. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for my live stream tonight. Maybe I'll have an update tonight. Maybe more things to share with you guys. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.